What's up guys, Justin here with the CGEssentials.com. In today's video we're going to talk about proportional editing in Blender. Let's go ahead and just jump into it. Alright, so the way most people find out about proportional editing is they turn it on by accident and then they can't figure out why it's doing what it's doing. But the way proportional editing works is, let's say that we were to select a face on this object right here. It's just a subdivided plane that I've created. So right now if I move this, the only thing that's going to move on here is this face and the connected edges that are connected to this face, right? Something like this. Well, that's a problem if I want to create some kind of like hills or something like that, because I really need to be able to do more than just like selecting something and then moving it, because it gives me kind of a boring result. Well, there's a tool set in Blender specifically designed to help you affect other things when you're using or when you're editing an object. And so if I go up and I click on this little circle right here, that's going to toggle on proportional editing. And so notice how when you do this and then you turn something on, right? So if I tap the G key right here, what you get is you get this circle around your cursor. You might have seen this before. Well, if you scroll your mouse wheel up and down, notice how more and more geometry is being affected based on the size of that circle. So basically what this is doing is this is taking the transformation that you're applying to this object and it's moving it outward in a proportional manner. So what this does is this allows you to do things like creating smooth curves and like lumps and other things like that in your model. So notice how I can use this to create hills or gullies or whatever in this 3D space. And so there's a number of different kinds of Falloff. This is the Blender documentation page that talks about proportional editing, but it shows the different kinds of Falloff that you have. And Falloff, again, is just the way that everything around your selected point is affected by your proportional editing. So you can adjust the Falloff types by clicking on this drop down right here. Notice how there's a number of different kinds of Falloff for your proportional editing. So for example, if I was to select the sphere right here and move this up, notice how this is creating more of a spherical shape. So if you look at it from the front, it's very spherical, where if you were to select one of these other options, like maybe the sharp like this, and then move it up, notice how that creates a very different shape. And all it's doing is just affecting the mathematical way that the Falloff is applied to different objects in this scene. So you can really use any of these. Some of these are really interesting though. Like for example, there's one in here for random. And so if you create like low poly landscapes or something like that, notice what this does is it randomly moves your shapes up and down like this. So if you look at this, this has done a whole bunch of just randomization in here. And notice how if I scroll this up or down, I'm going to get more or less pronounced effect. If you want to create something that's more random in here, you can just click in order to do that. So you can create this really random shape really quickly. And so another interesting application in here is the constant. So what the constant does is the constant moves everything that's inside of the circle to a constant distance. So notice how anything inside of the circle right now, or anything in the distance that we've set based on the size of the circle, is moving to the exact same height as what you move the selected object. So what that does is that really creates this more like plateau look that's in here. So you can definitely use that as well. And so this works outside of edit mode as well. So for example, if I was to have proportional editing turned on and I was to move this one monkey right here, notice how when the proportional circle is larger, all of these other monkeys are going to move along with it. So proportional editing not only edits objects and the faces and vertices inside of the objects, but objects outside of the object that you have selected as well. Not only does this work with moving things, it also works with scaling things. So notice how right here, for example, I can use this in order to proportionally scale the objects that are around this monkey head right here. So notice how the bigger this is, the closer they get to scaling along with this object. So you can use this to proportionally scale things around an object as well. And so one thing I wanted to point out is the object origin is really important. So if I look at all of these objects right here, right, if I had proportional editing turned on and I tried to move this, notice how these are all moving to the same height, even though they're in different locations. Well, the reason for that is because I used an array function in order to create these. And we'll notice how no matter which one of these I select, the object origin for each one of these is all in this point right here. So my proportional editing isn't working, or more specifically, it is working because the proportional editing is based on the origin location of an object. So if I keep all of these right here, I'll do a Shift D to duplicate so we can look at both of these. So if I was to take these objects and set the origin to the center of mass for each one of them, so notice how these origins are now in this central point. Well, now notice how this is working as expected, right? So I can use this to move, I can use this to scale proportionally if I decide that I want to do that. The object origin is going to be important in here because it's going to set what and where the objects are edited from. And so practically speaking, there's a lot of interesting applications for this. Like for example, let's say that I have this object right here, which I've split up into a bunch of different surfaces, and I'm going to duplicate this real quick because we're going to use it for something else in a second. So I'm going to go to Edge Select Mode, I'm going to do an Alt click. Notice how if I scale this with proportional editing toggled on, I can use this to do almost like sculpting in here. So I can use this in order to set like bulges or other things like that, where if I had my proportional editing completely off, it would just look like this, right? But if I toggle my proportional editing up, I can use this in order to make things that like gently slope or gently move, other things like that. And so real quick, let's tab back into edit mode, and I want to look at these two options right here. So there's two options in here that are going to modify the way that your proportional editing is going to work. The first is connected only. What connected only does is it's going to set where only connected faces or connected objects are going to be affected. So if I was to go into a front on view, let's go ahead and let's get rid of the vertices like this, and we'll go back to our material preview. So notice how this is all in one object right now, but these objects are no longer connected, right? Well, at the moment, if I was to select this whole thing, we'll jump into wireframe mode so that we get all of this, and I scale it up, notice how it doesn't really matter, right? It's still scaling the things that are inside of the circle, whether they're connected or not. However, if we were to click on this drop down right here and select only, or the connected only option like this, and then scale this up or down, notice how this is only going to scale things that are actually connected to this object. Because there's a gap in here, it's not going to scale this stuff down below because it's no longer connected. And so by checking the box for connected only, you can really dictate what is edited using proportional editing. All right, so the other option you might have noticed is if I was to tab into edit mode right here and select this vertex, notice how when we're in edit mode, there's an option for projected from view. So typically speaking, if I was to tap the G key, this proportional editing is it's coming in here and it's being applied based on that circular location, right? However, sometimes you want something that's a little bit more uniform across an object. Well, what projected from view allows you to do, if you click on this, is it allows you to use your view direction in order to proportionally edit things. So now, if I tap the G key, notice how everything in the circle is still moving, but this is projecting this all the way across the object like this. So I'm getting this like uniform effect across this object. So it's basically using your camera location in order to do that. So you can use this in order to dictate things based on a straight on location if you want something where it proportionally falls off to the sides but stays pretty uniform in the middle. All right, so that's where I'm going to end this video. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you have any questions about anything we talked about. I just love having that conversation with you guys. I'll link to some of my other ultimate guides on this page as well. But as always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.